So we just got some big news regarding Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles just ahead of their matchup with the New Orleans Saints this Sunday that could determine whether the Eagles walk away with the NFC East Division crown and the #1 seed in the NFC when it's all said and done. And if you know Jalen Hurts, if you know anything about him, this news really should not surprise you in the slightest. Although, I gotta be honest with you guys, man, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this news. We're gonna talk all about it in this video, but before we do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more consistent Philadelphia Eagles, Philadelphia 76ers content. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. So as we all know, Jalen Hurts suffered a shoulder injury in the Philadelphia Eagles' most recent win over the Chicago Bears just a couple weeks back. And this shoulder injury was clearly not good news. Obviously, you never want to see a player go down with an injury, especially an MVP caliber player like Jalen Hurts, who's had so much success this season for the Philadelphia Eagles and has been one of the main reasons for their success. So obviously, going into the Dallas Cowboys game, his status was in question, and obviously Jalen Hurts did not end up playing in that game, and it really hurt the Philadelphia Eagles offense. Obviously, with Gardner Minshew, things just weren't the same. The Philadelphia Eagles weren't able to be as effective as they wanted to be on offense. They couldn't run the exact same style of offense that they're used to running with Jalen Hurts, as Gardner Minshew and Jalen Hurts clearly have very different skill sets, and their run game took a big hit in that Dallas Cowboys game, as the threat of Jalen Hurts' legs and his running ability, his ability to make the correct decision on those RPO plays just wasn't there, because Gardner Minshew is a completely different quarterback than Jalen Hurts, and it really hurt the Philadelphia Eagles' rushing attack, and ultimately, Jalen Hurts not playing in that game versus the Dallas Cowboys contributed to the Philadelphia Eagles taking their second loss of the season. And it's a really unfortunate loss for the Philadelphia Eagles, and not exactly, I mean, in the way that they lost, it wasn't exactly ideal. They did commit 4 turnovers in the game, and they just didn't play their best brand of football. But more so, just losing in general hurts them, because if they had won that game, they would have clinched the NFC East Division title, wrapped it up 100%, along with the #1 seed in the NFC, and this upcoming game versus the New Orleans Saints wouldn't matter at all, as the Philadelphia Eagles would have already clinched everything they possibly could have. But with them losing the game versus the Dallas Cowboys, this game versus the New Orleans Saints on Sunday takes on a whole new importance. It becomes an extremely important game for the Philadelphia Eagles, one of their most important games of the entire season, because if the Philadelphia Eagles go out and win this game, they wrap up the 1 seed, they wrap up the NFC East, obviously. But if they lose, it puts so much pressure on them in their next upcoming game versus the New York Giants after that, as if the Cowboys win, the Eagles lose, the Eagles could potentially fall out of the #1 seed if the Dallas Cowboys were to win out and the Philadelphia Eagles were to lose out. So this game versus the New Orleans Saints becomes extremely important. So the Philadelphia Eagles are going to want to do everything they possibly can in their power to make sure they come out with the win in that game. And obviously, if you are the Philadelphia Eagles and you're trying to do everything in your ability to win this upcoming game on Sunday, you're going to want to have your franchise quarterback, your MVP caliber signal caller playing in that game. Jalen Hurts has probably been the best quarterback in the NFC this season. He was just named the Pro Bowl starter for the NFC at the quarterback position, and he's been one of the best passing quarterbacks in the league this season, much to a lot of people's surprise, because last year that was one of his main struggles. His strength was running the football, which he's still very, very effective at, but throwing the football was something he was not exactly the best in the league at, and it was an area of his game that he really needed to work on improving. And going into the offseason, Jalen Hurts did just that. He became one of the better pocket passers in the entire NFL, which is something I think nobody, not even Eagles fans, including myself, saw coming. And I'm just so proud of the way Jalen Hurts has progressed his game. So you're going to want to have a player like that in probably your most important game of the season, at least regarding the Philadelphia Eagles standings in the NFC playoff picture moving forward, trying to secure that #1 spot, trying to secure the division crown in the NFC East. And no disrespect to Gardner Minshew, like I just said, I think Gardner Minshew was pretty good versus the Dallas Cowboys, and he's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL, but he's just not Jalen Hurts, and I don't think he really has a chance to live up to Jalen Hurts. I think he can still go out there, win some games if you need him to, but ideally, the Philadelphia Eagles want to have Jalen Hurts back for this game. So the question then becomes, will Jalen Hurts be able to play this Sunday versus the New Orleans Saints? Well, it looks like that question is getting closer to be answered, as we have some breaking news regarding Jalen Hurts and his potential availability in this game versus the New Orleans Saints. As Jalen Hurts is back at practice today for the Philadelphia Eagles, this is a big step in the right direction towards Jalen Hurts being able to play. Obviously, last week he wasn't able to practice at all, and ultimately that led to him sitting out versus the Dallas Cowboys. Him being back at practice shows progress in his recovery from his injury, and even if he is limited, which he is, in this practice. He's still throwing, which I think is a good sign. And ultimately, Jalen Hurts being back at practice is a step in the right direction for the potential of him being able to play versus the New Orleans Saints. And just like last week, Nick Sirianni is not ruling out the possibility of Jalen Hurts playing this Sunday, and he had some recent comments yesterday on the possibility of Jalen Hurts playing.
Does Jalen Hurts stand right now?
Yeah, we'll see. Does he have a chance? Of course he does, because his body heals. His body just knows how to heal. He's a freak, and so we'll see what happens as the week progresses.
What is this?
Trying to answer your question.
Body heal stuff. Is he like a superhero or something? Like, what is this? How does his body heal differently from everybody else?
If you and him went up and you guys shot baskets together, he'd whoop you. If you guys went out and you guys raced against each other, he'd whoop you. If you guys went out and tried to throw the football, so he was to throw it more accurate or further, he'd whoop you. And so his body heals faster than yours.
So it sounds like Nick Sirianni does not want to rule out the possibility of Jalen Hurts returning to play this Sunday versus the Saints. Maybe this is just a tactic so that the New Orleans Saints have to plan for both Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew playing, just like we saw last week where he wouldn't rule out Jalen Hurts, and it left the Cowboys until towards the end of the week when they really 100% knew which quarterback they were going to be facing. But still, him being back at practice, I think, is a real concrete sign that he's getting closer to playing. And from the sound of everything this week, it just seems like Jalen Hurts is doing everything in his power to make sure he's ready to go on Sunday should he be able to play. It said there were reports earlier this week saying he was going to push to play this game versus the New Orleans Saints with the Philadelphia Eagles #1 seed in NFC East Division title on the line this week, knowing the importance of this game. And I think Jalen Hurts really just wants to play more than anything. He's a competitor, he's a winner, and he wants to go out there, give it 100%, and go out there, perform for his team, and be able to make sure that they secure that #1 spot that they've been working for all regular season. So I think that's one of the reasons why you see him back at practice. Jalen Hurts is doing everything possible to make sure he's ready to play this game. But then you still have to ask another question regarding this Jalen Hurts news, and that's pretty much, should Jalen Hurts even play in this game? And yeah, I know that's going to get some mixed emotions. I have mixed emotions about this news of him being back at practice and trying to play in this game versus the New Orleans Saints. I know some people are on the side of, yes, Jalen Hurts should definitely play. And then there's people that are a little bit more conservative and they don't want to see him play. They don't want to see him go out there if he's not 100% healthy. And I feel like I'm a little bit stuck in the middle because on one hand, I want to see Jalen Hurts go out there and play. Obviously, he gives the Philadelphia Eagles the best chance to win this game versus the New Orleans Saints. Not saying Gardner Minshew can't do it again, but Jalen Hurts obviously is just one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and obviously if you can have him out there, it gives you a far better chance to win. So I would love to see Jalen Hurts play in this game. I also might be going to the game, so of course that would make it even better if I'm able to actually go to this game. Not sure yet. We'll stay tuned on that. There might be a vlog coming. Who knows? But I would like to see Jalen Hurts play in this game, especially if I am going. But on the other hand, you need Jalen Hurts 100% healthy for this upcoming playoff run by the Philadelphia Eagles. The ultimate goal of the Philadelphia Eagles season is to win a Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles want to accomplish their goal of winning a Super Bowl, and you need your franchise quarterback, your MVP caliber quarterback, 100% healthy if that's going to be the case. If the Philadelphia Eagles are going to go out here and win a Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts has to be healthy for this whole playoff run. He can't be hampered by a shoulder injury, especially on his throwing arm. He's going to need to be 100%, be effective at running the ball and throwing the ball just like he's been all season. You can't have Jalen Hurts be at even like 80% because I really think that him being at 100% can be the difference for the Philadelphia Eagles, as he is such an X factor, such a difference maker. And if he's slowed down by any potential injury, that's just not a good thing for the Philadelphia Eagles in their attempts to win the Super Bowl. But then again, you also have the rust factor, and that is if Jalen Hurts doesn't play this week versus the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles win, then he most likely wouldn't play the next week versus the New York Giants, as there's no reason to play him. There's no reason to risk further injury. So then the Philadelphia Eagles would also have a bye week. So then from that point, when he played versus the Chicago Bears all the way to the divisional round in the playoffs, which would be the Philadelphia Eagles' first playoff game in that scenario, Jalen Hurts wouldn't have played for 5 weeks. Do you really want your leader of your offense to go out there not having played 5 weeks in a row and then expect him to play his best football? I don't think that's ideal either. So it's really, there's two sides of a coin, and it's just hard to determine what I don't even know what I think. I really want Jalen Hurts to play, but I also really don't, because I don't want him to get hurt. I think we need him healthy, but at the same time, I don't think it's 100% bad if he does play. So I guess I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to have to see what happens. We're all going to just have to see what happens. We're at the mercy of the team doctors and Jalen Hurts and just the coaches and what everyone ends up deciding on whether Jalen Hurts will play in this game versus the New Orleans Saints. If I had to take an educated guess on whether he would play or not, I would still say no. There were reports earlier this week saying that someone, I don't remember who it was some analyst saying they'd be shocked if Jalen Hurts played this week versus the Saints. And ultimately, I think the team would just decide against risking further injury to their MVP caliber quarterback moving into the playoffs. I think they prioritize his health more than anything else other than just winning this game. And I also think they have confidence in Gardner Minshew to go out there and get a potential win. So I'm really not 100% sure. I would lean towards saying he probably still won't play even if he is practicing. He is limited, so I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. My guess would be he doesn't play, but you guys can let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to watch more Eagles content, you can go watch another video on the Philadelphia Eagles right here. And if you did enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel for more Philadelphia Eagles videos, more Philadelphia 76ers content. Drop a like on this video to help push it out to other people. And with that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this video. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.